The Canadian government is putting on a show. A good show. It's called Truth and Reconciliation. They invite a dozen people to Ottawa, bring a film crew, and they hit them with the most traumatic issues they've ever faced in their life and bring them to their most emotional states. And then they film it. The politicians hug them and say, "We're going to make it okay. We're going to bring truth and reconciliation. We're going to give you back your land. We're going to give you back your traditional way of life, your traditional hunting grounds. We're going to bring your people up and out of poverty. We apologize for the oppression we enforced upon you when we came to your country to do business." And that's fact. You never bought Canada. You came here to do business. You sat down with the leaders of the Chippewa and you make a treaty for this section of land. But is it? Then you sit down with the Mohawk and you say, "Here, this, and this is yours." Joseph Brant in the Ottawa Valley, the Mohawk of New York. You say, "You help us beat the Americans, we'll give you the whole Ottawa Valley and the Grand River system all the way up the Kurt Lake." Who land was that before you gave it to Joseph Brant? The Chippewa, the Ojibwe, the Ojibwe, the Mi'kmaq. Who was it? Mi'kmaq too far east. They were the Odawa, the Abenaki, and in exchange for military favor defeating a force, you took all of our people and you pushed us off of our land and gave it to the Mohawks. And then you pushed the Algonquins north. You pushed the Menominee north. Every Native American tribe in the United States of America was set to be removed and forced north or eliminated. This is the policy of the America's treatment of us, the indigenous people. You see, that prisoner of war system is still intact. So much so that generationally we call it home. We've become so accustomed to that way of life that we just go home. We've beautified it. But nonetheless, it is internment camp number, POW camp number, internment camp number, to reservation number. It is the same system. Nothing has changed except for their tactics. Right now, all the Canadian TV is on Tyre Nichols. Like all Canadian TV was on George Floyd. And during the time that you were looking at George Floyd, at least 10 Canadian Native Americans were killed by police. I can't tell you how many in the United States. I don't know. There's no more time to wait. African American, Black America is fighting to have the United States become their indigenous country. They have come up with these stories of African kingdoms moving from the Underground Railroad into Canada, and so they established Canada. And we're talking about African kingdoms and royalty, and where these people come from. Now you're starting to acknowledge that wealthy black Africans were really the ones that owned the sugar plantations in America, the Bahamas, the West Indies. Now you're starting to acknowledge that they were the slave owners, but you're not fully acknowledging it. You're just saying that they were the property owners. Well, that's enough for me. Everything is a lie. We need to take our country back.